A few minutes, see if anybody shows up. I'm a couple minutes early. Bear with me on this crazy mount here for my phone. Waiting to see if anybody shows up. Nobody yet. There's one person. If you're here and everything sounds okay, drop a comment. One thumbs up. Let's see if I can find the comment somewhere. There's James Smith. How's it going, James? Matt, how are you? Everything sound okay? Hopefully I can keep up with the comments. 3 of you in, 2 thumbs up. I'll give it a few more minutes. I'm a little early. James is doing good. Sounds great, Matt. That's good to hear, James. There's Logan. Really appreciate you guys stopping by. Let's see how many show up. We'll go over a couple things. And I've had catastrophic failure in the YouTube world. It's the main reason for this live. 6 of you, 4 thumbs up. A few more minutes. Storming up your way, James. If you're still here. 5 thumbs up. Like I said, I'm a little early. Maybe a couple minutes early. Let's see, no life on the farm. Yes, sir. I'm really excited. We're pretty much got the second house down, and things are really shaping up. Gonna be beautiful, I think. It's the whole deal, the reclaim from the start, and where we are right now is amazing. Honestly, I'm really tickled with the progress. Well, as you got, or get it out here in a minute. You guys that are here, if you got any questions or anything, till a couple more show up, I'll take any questions that you may have. Like I said, we had some failure. Sorry about the noise if that came through. Yes, sir, Matt. I am living the life. Honestly, dreams do come true if you push forward far enough. James, that's awesome to hear. I know you were struggling with that. I've heard a lot of things about that over the years. Actually, my wife had a little small round of that. Nothing like most people do. And it was awful. So continued prayers for you, my friend. Hopefully everything is going to be on the up and up now. 6 people, 6 thumbs up. It's kind of a last minute deal. I didn't put anything out on what I did on social media. They were, I guarantee you, I've heard a lot about that. There's Evan. Thank you, Evan, for dropping in. I'll get to you here in a few minutes. That's good, James. Honestly, it really is. I'm glad to hear that. Mom and Daddy had the grandson today, and he came to the farm, and we rode in the dump truck for a little while, hauling some loads of block down to the bottom. I think they were headed over there to the park this afternoon. 7 of you, 6 thumbs up. We'll give it a couple more minutes. We're 4 minutes in. Should be a minute or 2 after 9 now. Let's see. I'm actually going to come this year, James. I'm helping Zach haul some tractors down since it's the Ford year, and I'll probably be there. Definitely be there for the auction. I don't know about the other, but I'm going to come find you regardless. I think I saw you at the auction last year, you and Jonathan, I believe it was. 8 again, 7. So we had some catastrophic failure here on YouTube as far as with my filming apparatus and cameras and GoPros and drone and everything else. It just seems like when I have bad luck, it rains down hard. So it's been kind of a tough week. I ran into some issues with a senior, cousin Scott's combine. We'll detail that here in a little bit. But my cousin came up and has been tearing down the second house there, and I decided to get some drone footage and did on the first day. No, I didn't. I filmed some of the GoPro on the first day, and I saved that clip and came home, loaded it in the computer, went back the second day and decided I was going to get some drone footage. And he was taking down that big rock chimney, and we were flying the drone around doing everything good. And for whatever reason, I guess I didn't have the obstacle avoidance system turned on. It's always worked. I mean, I've never really turned it on or off, but I wasn't paying attention and flew right into one of those big cedar trees somewhere there close to the farmyard, and it's buried in the trees. I have no idea which tree, where it is. I've looked. There's several that are covered in poison oak, which I get now, unfortunately. And so I think the drone is over and done with. And I had some good footage on the SD card, so it's gone. Our spring has been catastrophic. Yes, everything's been catastrophic. I can't imagine farming like you guys are trying to do. I mean, with the weather the way it has been. So we lost the drone, and the day before that, I had some footage where we started working on the combine, taking the straw chopper off, and the issues I ran into there with the hydraulics, and took the SD card out of the GoPro, set it on top of my car, and took off down the road. So I lost that card and footage. So we have no SD card for any of my GoPros, and I don't have the drone now. So I don't know. I mean, it is what it is, I guess. I don't really know if that's a sign or what, but we're gonna. Well, that's all that matters. You get some time with your kids. Nelson, maybe you should wear your glasses when piloting. You're very correct, Andy. That's one thing that I did not do. I mean, I have a really bad habit of flying the drone of, if it's close enough, I want to look up and look at the drone and not look at the screen. And I was in the middle of both of those and smacked a tree. So starting to like freedom from the farm a lot. Yeah, I can see that. There's Mr. Jeff. So Andy and Mr. Jeff are in here. Yeah, he's always on the weather, isn't he? But I can't imagine. I mean, it's been a roller coaster ride, what I've been watching and seeing. I mean, it has been here too. I mean, I think the guys that finally got everything planted, Luke made a comment about, how the roots are not going deep because they don't have to go deep from moisture. So I'm not sure how that's going to work out, but it's put everybody behind on hay, of course, and harvesting wheat and some of the corn planting. But the cold and wet, it's just unreal. I need to be happy like you happy. Yeah, you two or something. I saw, let me see if I can pull these back up. Stick a finger in the screen there. I think I saw cleaning the net. Yeah, cleaning the net I have. It's, I mean, who's to complain, I mean, I've got several years out of the drone now, but I mean, yeah, it's one thing to crash it into something or, good footage or whatever, but I mean, to lose it in the farmyard, and I mean, I've looked and looked and looked, and there's, no way. I think the last, what was it? I guess the recorded GPS height wise was like 49 or 52 feet, I think. So it's up there. But I mean, of all times for me not to pay attention. All I remember was going across the power lines right there at the gate where you go into the farm. And I was doing a fly around of when he was tearing down the house. So I don't really know how far I was in. It may be in that other cedar tree there at the driveway I'm going to take down. Who knows? It is what it is. But anyway, so we've had a lot of trouble there for sure. So got a lot of work going on tomorrow and don't have SD card. Got one on order, so I'm not sure how much filming I'll do. But, oat harvest is coming up, so I want to talk about that a little bit. Of course, with Nelson Luck, I've run into more problems. Not necessarily more problems, it's just a little deeper than what I anticipated. So with Cousin Scott's combine, he had some issues when the last time he harvested corn with it. Hydraulic issues, wouldn't pick the head up. I actually picked up a hydraulic pump for him at Oakley's, and I wasn't sure if he installed it or not, but the more I've tore into it. I believe he did. There's something going on there. I've been talking to Evan quite a bit. He's helping me with some things, and the hydraulics are getting very, very hot really quick. Like I ran it the other day, less than 5 to 6 minutes of run time, and the pump and the reservoir and the filter housing got so hot I couldn't even touch it with my hand. Um, so it's a restriction somewhere because it should be gravity drop on the header, and it takes as long to let down as it does to go up. So there's definitely something deadheading somewhere. I'm not a hydraulic man, and I think that was the problem that Scott was having. So I was going to wing it because my fields are pretty level. When you set the header where it needed to be, it would stay there all day and part of the night. So I wasn't really worried about it. It doesn't seem to, as soon as you crank it up and the fluid's cold, of course they run transmission fluid over hydraulic fluid. They It didn't matter. It didn't matter if it was cold or hot. It did the same thing. So I said, well, I'll just run with it, harvest the oats, and get it out of the way because we didn't have a whole lot to do. And in messing with it and felt how hot it is, I mean, I guess it's a blessing from above because you all know, dry straw and chaff and everything else. If it would burn my hand in less than 5 minutes, basically, if I left my hand on there, can you imagine what it would do? After 10 or 15 minutes running, I could just see that pump exploding or the tank exploding with that, fluid. So that's not a good thing. So we've got it all tore apart now, and I had good footage of all that on the SD card that we lost, so I'm not really sure where we are actually. Ended up taking the block to the hydraulic shop mainly because to see if it's possibly broken inside or, something going on. I don't know anything about it. Everybody tells me they're simple. Somebody's been into it. I don't know if it was Scott or the person before him. I feel like that this issue is the reason the combine was parked when he got it because it was very, very, it's a very nice combine. I mean, it really is. It's one of the late model Ks, right before the K2s, I think. And looks like it's been well taken care of, but I think this is an issue that was a problem from the get-go. So I'm not sure where we are on that with oat harvest. I mean, they're just now starting to turn probably 6 inches up to stalk, but when I talk about guys, these oats, they're crazy. I mean, some people tell you they need to be shoulder high. Other people tell me they've never seen oats that tall. I don't know. I'm not a farmer. I'm learning. But there's places in the field that these oats are over 6 feet tall. I mean, literally, and pushing. I mean, I'm 6'2", and there are a couple of places that are over my head. Now, I did put quite a bit of fertilizer on it. But regardless, we're going to have quite the amount of straw and quite the amount of material going to the combine. So I'm kind of up in there on that as far as what to do. I'm not really behind. Like I said, they're turning, but I probably got another, I don't know, 2 to 3 weeks maybe. I don't think I could get in the field right now if they were ready because of how wet it's been. I mean, it dries up for a day or two, 85, close to 90 degrees, and then overnight it monsoon rains again. So that's where we are on that. Glenda, harvested wheat and it's running. Y'all saw in the last video, fired right up. I got the corn head off. The grain head on it is ready. New boards. I don't have teeth on it, but right now all the oats are standing. I'm not going to say when they start drying out really bad that, some of the wind and stuff won't put a few on the ground, but we'll see. But I've got a bearing out that runs on the PTO shaft off the motor that comes out to the unload auger. The snubbers on the crankshaft pulley are bad again. I think that bearing going out, it went out pretty much about halfway through corn harvest, and I think it vibrated enough those are just 3 little rubber bushings basically that clamp that PTO shaft onto the crank of the motor, the front pulley. So those are bad again, the bearing's bad, and the corn just beat the feeder house all to pieces up there. There's places that was already thin from rust, and it's going to have to be patched up. So I don't know, I'm on the fence. I'm waiting to hear back about the hydraulic block to see if he finds anything definitive. If he doesn't find anything definitive, then we're probably going to jump right on Glenda because there's probably going to be a collapsed line somewhere. I've traced most of them. I mean, there's several rubber lines on there, but pennies on the dollar with me. I can't really afford just to start replacing lines not knowing exactly what's going on. So we'll see. We'll see what he says about the hydraulic block and where we go with that. So that's an issue. 12 of you in here, 8 thumbs up. Is everybody still here? I haven't seen any comments come up. Am I missing them or? Oh yeah, I missed some of these. Sorry, I got my finger screen again. So Eric's in. just means time to update YouTube. Yeah, I agree, Logan. Until I saw the price of what the new drones were, you should buy a second drone to look at. I've got a buddy that's got one. Oh wow, I missed all these comments, guys. I'm sorry. I was wondering why I was sitting here babbling and nobody was saying anything. Raining at Mr. Jeff's. The drone is probably a nice big bee. Yeah, it probably is. It probably is, Andy, in a bee's nest. That's exactly right. Now, that would be a great video. Nelson fighting bees while recovering his drone. Don't forget the poison oak. So, all my life, I'll be 48 this year. I've never gotten poison oak until last year, and I got it the worst I think I've ever thought I would get it. So naturally, we've got a cedar tree, bees, and poison oaks. That would be nice. Bees run. Wow, nice size oaks. Yeah, they're huge. I don't know. That's crazy. I mean, there are places that they're shorter, of course, but there's places. The middle field, which is sandy, it really, it's all got the same amount of fertilizer on it. They really took off there, and I really did good with the weeds this time, which we sprayed them right after when I was supposed to. I see, I'm learning, you guys, Jeff, Andy, and all you. If you do things like you're supposed to do when it comes to farming, then you get a whole lot better outcome instead of being 2 months behind. So I feel like the situation with the combines and the oats, instead of being 2 months behind, I'm only a couple of weeks behind. I feel like I've still got at least 2 to 3 weeks before harvest. So I don't know. I put the gravity wagon bed on my F600 frame. I think you've seen a short maybe on that, but I'm not sure that I'm going to use that again. The brakes are locked up on the back, and like I said, more work. So it may be back to the 53-foot trailer and totes like I did with corn, which works out great, and pull the combine right up and unload right in the totes, or unload on the trailer and then set them or unload on my gooseneck in the field and then set them off into the trailer. I'm doing very bad on comments. Let's see. 6-foot tall, that's a crop. You'll need a drone to harvest it. Yeah, I know. I'm really disappointed about the drone and the upcoming oat harvest, especially with it being Scott's combine. Yeah, I think I was wanting to try to get a clip of those, Evan, to show you guys before they really started turning. Can't get in the field, same story, different zip code. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it really is. Oh, did I say fertilize again, Andy? Wow. Let's see what Logan say. I can come film for you tomorrow. I guess I'm gonna try to go somewhere in the morning and try to get a SD card, Logan. I hope you do get to come at this pace, Nelson, next year. Well, I'm thinking, Andy, and that's what I've been talking about. I mean, I got two combines now. Both of them run the same head, so catastrophic failure is one. Of course, I've got two combines, and neither one of them are field ready. But we're a whole lot closer than we were last year. So they both run the same headers. We've got storage situated already. I'm not scrambling around with that. It may not be perfect, but I've got a lot of the oats themselves sold. And of course, I've got a lot of straw sold, which I think I'm going to have a whole lot more straw than I anticipated. So I'm hoping that I can cram enough straw in the oats in the 53-foot trailer and put it up in the loft. But, we'll see. It's a whole lot of material to run through. Scott's combine is, he harvested corn with it and did fine. Glenda, should do fine. But we'll see. I mean, it's definitely going to be I'm not going to say it's the biggest crop I've had yet. I mean, corn was amazing, but this is probably, I'll say, the best as far as how I've handled things. I put the right amount of fertilizer out. There you go, Andy. And, I actually got to spray for weeds this time instead of letting nature take its course. And, even with the rains we've had, we haven't had any floods, and I shouldn't even say that, probably knock on wood, jinx myself, but, I haven't had any flooding in the bottom, so. And we really got, I guess, more planted actually than I did in corn because I've expanded some of the fields and that clearing we did out there. I'm missing comments again. Let's see, Peanut Smith, how's it going for Southeast Alabama? It's been extremely wet. It has here as well. It really has. I mean, again, I'm not a very good judge of it because I'm not attempting to try to farm again this year other than oats. I got those out way early before the bad weather really started. I know the guys were struggling, but hay production around here is what suffered the most. I mean, I've got hay that I could cut or could have cut, the stuff that I sell, that's not, not high quality stuff, but I just don't have the time. And it's like you can't get it dry. I mean, the weathermen, they say you're good, you're golden all day, nothing till the next afternoon, and you wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning with your house rattling and it's pouring down rain. People's got hay in the field. So that's probably what suffered the most around here this year. Evening hunting and stuff. Hello, Joey. Thank you, man. Yeah, I've had catastrophic failure with the YouTube equipment, so we thought we'd do a live. I'm not sure when I'll get another video out. And he says you're learning not to cut corners. Yeah, I mean it's. I have a gentleman. I'm not going to name him. He would kill me if I did, but he's kind of been in the corner since day one. On top of the rest of you guys helping me, but that's something that's aggravated him from day one, and it's just trying to. I'm not gonna say necessarily cut corners, but just not willing to spend the money. It takes money to make money. We all know that. And with everything I've had going on, it's just I think it's a fear factor more than it is anything a failure. I mean, I had no idea what I was doing, and I think I'm not gonna say that any of my crops have been a complete success, but I've actually grown stuff, I've harvested stuff, and I've made money. So I think that gave me enough confidence to realize that, if you change this and this and this, then you're going to get a better outcome. So exactly. I mean, everything can't be pennies on the dollar. Of course, I can't afford to do what you guys do, and I don't think I can handle the stress level of my OCD. So hats off to all of you, and thank you for it. But we are learning quite a bit. This is a prime example. I mean, I did to the T. I mean, I cut a few corners on the corn when I planted it, as far as what my soil test, called for, just because I couldn't afford it. But we turned around and put that money back into the next crop, which is the oats. So sorry if you guys are hearing that notifications coming through. We put that money back into the oat crop, and I was able to do exactly what I needed to do. So I can definitely see the benefit of it. And hopefully with living there, we'll talk about that in a minute with the house situation. Things will be a whole lot easier, as far as an hour or so tinkering, as I call it, every day is almost as good as a Saturday trying to cram everything in, because you can slow down a little bit, you can concentrate more. And I'm the world's worst at doing this. I mean, going in 10 different directions. I do this for a couple of days, and then, oh, well, I've got to do this, and I'll stop and go do that. We all know that, just like the drill when I planted oats. I mean, I should have fixed that disc opener last year. Let's see, the comments are, here they are. It's tough to get started, not just spending the money, but finding what you need and time to get it fixed. Yeah, that's very true, Evan. And like I said again, I don't know that I classify myself as quote unquote a farmer, but living the dream. That's what I've always wanted to do. Carrying on the legacy of my grandfather and his land and the farm. There's not much left around my area, farmland, and to be able to do something I wanted to do as a kid is a huge success for me. And I'm not going to say that I wouldn't be where I am today without YouTube, but I've made so many friends, and there's so much advice all the way back to, I was watching a video the other day. I can't remember. I think it was the Lampley brothers, and Alex was talking about not worrying about running over the corn. And I can remember back 2 years ago, maybe three, Andy mentioned that, and that basically explained to me about running over inrows on the corn, which that's a whole nother aspect we're going to get into next year when I plant, because we're going to do Roundup Ready corn. And with Nelson, oh my gosh, I got a cramp. That's perfect on a live stream, isn't it? We're going to be running over corn plants. You know how wild that's going to be in my mind. But he explained that to me. So it's like every person has taken the time to show me little tidbits of information, and just the encouragement, basically, of what to do, what not to do. You're crazy for doing this. You need to be doing that, or whatever. And it's got me where I am today. So we got a long road to go yet, but I'm enjoying myself. And that's the main thing. I think if it ever becomes a job, where you dread it, then I'd probably have to back off of it. Matt said a while ago, he's kind of enjoying the time away from the farm, so I can understand that, especially if you do it quite a bit. Let's see. He just says, Matt says, why don't you sing some Warriors film reviews? And I think it's been good luck for some. Yeah, I'm not quite the singer Andy is. We don't have the luxury of the the air conditioned cab tractors either. So if I did sing, at least the engine sound would drown me out where you guys wouldn't have to suffer so much. But still got 17 people in, 10 thumbs up. Really appreciate everybody stopping in. My wife's in there watching it, and she's got the volume up and it's messing with me. Honey, she might have her phone sitting down. Um, so the house situation, real quick, we'll talk about that. Let's see. Oh Lord, she said my house looks bare. You're the decorator. She's on here commenting, telling me my house looks bare. She's the decorator, not mine. She has already taken the curtains down. She is in pre-move mode. I think we're match made in heaven when it comes to OCD because she gets something on her mind and they're going to go 150 miles an hour. And, we're still probably, well, I don't know how long we are, months, but there's a lot been bought, a lot been packed up, and a lot situated, which, maybe I should take lessons from that and be more prepared instead of waiting until the last minute to do everything like I do. Let's see. Hunting stuff says Mario Speedwagon Grumpy Farmer Special. Yes, it is. You can still learn. You can learn. Yes, I can. Peanut. That's exactly right. And I have. I mean, I really have. I want to mention something about a refrigerator. You guys remind me about that if you're still here in a few minutes. But basically, everything that I've done thus far has. Well, I mean, my mentor behind the scenes, of course, I attribute everything, but all the benefits and suggestions and everything else that's come from you guys have put me where I am because I know nothing about farming. I mean, grass can grow and figure out how to put hay in a bale. I mean, like I said, what little experience I had with some tillage work in tobacco and pulling tobacco and driving the tractor, sled rows, and some hay back in the day, and that's as far as it went. But you know, till ground and put fertilizer out. I said it right that time, or maybe I didn't do that right in the context. That was for you, Andy. Um, and then seed everything and watch it grow. And so I feel like it's a win-win because we went from a very good corn crop that could have been 10 times better, and I didn't spray. Of course, I cheaped out on conventional corn, which it grew well. We had a drought last year. I'd love to see how that particular variety did this year. But anyway, moved over to the oats, and I've kind of done everything right. So maybe the next crop or grow will be even better. Let's see, where are we? Evan says I prefer ACDC to real RSV wagon personally. You don't want to hear me sing anything. I couldn't carry a tune in a 55-gallon barrel. Mom is ready. Yes, she is, Peanut. Yes, she is. Very much so. Something we've both been waiting on for a long time. Really is. I say it all the time, we follow the Lord's will, and I think its plan in motion has been for many, many years. Some, circumstances I don't necessarily always divulge to you guys, but fill you in as much as I can. But I think we're right where we're supposed to be, timing and everything. And yes, she is, and I'm tickled that she is. Happy wife, happy life. It's something that we both are really looking forward to, and finally starting to shape up. It really is. What time frame? Sorry. So my cousin just finished up digging the old dirt out, James. I'm not sure if I posted a picture of that. I might have. I think I did on a live stream notification today. We got that out. See, over dug it 3 foot so that they can come in, dig the footings. The permit is finally in the works now. So as soon as they get that, they'll come out and pour the footings and put the foundation up. And I'm pretty sure that the house is almost ready. Time frame wise, and I talked to the builder. He met me the other day when we were when I was talking to him about making sure I wouldn't mess anything up, digging that out because we wanted the house to kind of sit lower. Still wanted my crawl space underneath the house to be, a modest amount, but we didn't want the back of the house to be out the way the land is, 7 or 8 feet out of the ground and have a huge foundation wall back there. But anyway, he said, I said probably September, and he said yeah. So I'm hoping. On the good side, we're late August, mid-September. Probably on the bad side, middle October. But I'm hoping to be in and settled before winter hits. We'll put it that way. Let's see. Peanut says small dropper is going to be feasible to put in. Florida very good. Yes, I've thought about that. Actually, Peanut, I really went through that last year. When we had that with the corn. The creek is there. My grandfather did for years. I mean, he pumped water all over the farm. I mean, I'm still to this day, I'll find inch and a half, inch and a quarter black roll plastic where he pumped out of the creek, which, that was what he started out doing was pumping sand out of that creek as well. So he had gardens. He didn't do row crops. I mean, he did, but not that I can remember. He had huge gardens and he would pump water to them. So that's a very feasible alternative that I'm going to look into, especially because we're going to try to hit the ground running a whole lot harder next year with crops. I mean, me and the wife were just talking last night about that I really shouldn't have planted anything this year. Should have let it all be fallow because I stayed behind. But I felt like the oats would be a good fit. Still make some money, put some money back for next year's crop, but we're going to do everything we can over the winter because hopefully, like I said, house situated will be finished up. There's quite a few changes after we're there that we want to do if things work out. That'll make me working on stuff throughout the winter a whole lot easier. So we'll see how that goes, but that's a very feasible option. James says, good deal. God, Glenn and Annette said, awesome. Good evening, Nielsen. Hello, Mr. Tony. How are you? I really appreciate you stopping in. Let's see, who is this? Hat Creek Farm. Hey, how are you, man? Doing pretty good. Just living a dream. Still got 16 of you and 11 thumbs up. 30 minutes in. I don't want to get too long-winded. I say that every time in every video. But the main thing was the combine issues that I talked about earlier. Of course, the failures in the GoPro aspects and the drone and stuff like that. I mean, that's not the end of the world. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's tough to lose a drone. I'd almost rather have crashed it and it be unrepairable than I would just to know it's sitting in a tree somewhere. But, if the wind blows hard enough, maybe it'll blow out, maybe it won't. I mean, I'm going to possibly attempt some tree removal tomorrow since the second house is down now. We've got it in piles. So who knows, it may be in one of those trees. If it jostles it loose, it does. But, it's a lesson learned, honestly. Put your glasses on, pay more attention. It's just, I've been pretty lucky. I've really been, honestly, extremely lucky. I'm still using my original GoPro. I've changed over. I got one from Dylan Joyce when he switched everything or most of his stuff over to, what was that? Maybe DJI stuff. I can't remember. We did some trading on some stuff and I got one of his older GoPros. So I had two. And up until about a month ago, I was using my original one that I've had now for three and a half years that, has been through the ringer. The only problem with it is where the little flaps come down. It shakes a little bit now. So when I'm carrying the camera or something, you can hear that tick tick in the back. So I switched over using the other one. But that being said, I've been pretty lucky all the way around the board and not knowing how to fly a drone and still not being very good at it. I guess I did okay. I just need to get up high and zoom down, and that way I stay out of harm's way. But there was a lot going on yesterday, so that's what it is in the SD card situation. So sorry, let me get some water. So what else, guys? Let's see if I missed some more comments. Oh yeah. Oh, how do I miss all these comments? Really looking forward to see what the new house looks like. Y'all take care. Good. Thank you very much, Peanut. I really appreciate it. Good to see the combines out sunning. He let us know it's had a reverse works. Got a 4-basket. Used to be a 4-basket too. Yes. I think that was in the last video. I got that in the shop. So quick rundown on everything. My house pad basically is ready for them to dig the footings. We're finished with that. I've got a little bit of work to do on the septic tank. I'm just going to take the old cast pipe out of the first side of the septic and put new PVC in it and put me a clean out and stub that up for them to plumb too. We've already finished the water. So once I do that, we're completely finished. My cousin actually, when he did the grading, he found the old French drains that were around the house. So there's 3 pipes there and he kind of swelled it down so any water until they get the house built will run down through those pipes and disperse out in the field like they need to, and then they can tie them to them as well when they put the new French drain. So we finished with that, and then he's almost finished with the second house tear down. Hauling some block off. Of course, he's hauling all the trash and debris off. We got a big pile of metal, tin roof. I got some more trees and tree line to take down, then we'll move off that aspect. But my orchard grass is not doing well. I knew that. I'm not going to say that I cut a corner on that. I just didn't put the nitrogen on it, which I probably should have been a new crop. But, maybe give me a little bit more time. I'll get another cutting out of it and probably not get three like I should have. Um, but I just really don't have the time. So the tedder is in the shop. To answer your question, it is, and I'm going to be working on that soon. So that'll be a video for sure, and I'll definitely put that out here for long. I think it's going to work perfect. After seeing, if you watched Ross, somebody told me to watch Ross the Oliver Man. He did the same thing, and he has a good video on it, basically explaining everything, and it makes perfect sense with the keyway. So when I slid the tube, when I was trying to slide the tube off the gearbox, what I did basically was the shaft stayed in the gearbox and I slid it off, and I think I pulled the keyway out of the end in the basket itself, because the other side that I did not do that still works fine. So I think I just got to take the basket top off, get that keyway slid back where it needs to be, and time it back up and we'll be good to go. Really like watching my guy run. Good luck with it. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I get long-winded and babbling. Hat Creek Farm. Hopefully it'll stop back in. How many of you guys are still here? Give me some questions, concerns, anything else. I think I've covered most of it. I'm not going to be on here for hours and hours and hours. See what else. I think the tricloder's still doing good. Used it to, Evan's still here. Okay. And well, Evan, I had it all set up, and I hope you heard earlier in the minute because I talked to you about it when we were working on the K. I watched the video on Jetway. Thanks. Thank you, my friend. I really appreciate it. James is still here. Thank y'all. Evan, when I was working on it, I was telling everybody they need to go over to your channel with you being a machinist and see all the amazing stuff you can do, making the parts and stuff like that for Gretchen. And of course, that is the SD card that went MIA off the top of the car. So we lost that footage. But any of you that are watching here and don't watch Evan Austin here on YouTube, go and check him out. He's an amazing friend, super nice guy, does farming kind of basically the same way I do and learns as we go. But he's a machinist by trade and just can work miracles with fixing things and building new stuff. And he's got an e-gleaner that he picked up, and he's been doing quite a bit of work to it. I mean, I told him the other day that if he lived closer, that we would probably never be home to our wives very much, because we'd be working on something all the time. I mean, when you've got, I mean, my buddy's a machinist as well. He used to be, he welds for a living now, but we don't have the equipment, where Evan has equipment at home. And then of course, just like anybody else, if it gets deep, I'm sure that, something can go to, if you need a different machine you don't have, probably could go to the daily job. But that's amazing. So go over and check him out, Evan Austin, here on YouTube if you hadn't. Just down to earth guy, really, really super good at what he does in the farming aspect and in the machining trade. He says, "All shucks" on the comments. Keyway, not Jetway. I hear you, man. You're in North Carolina. Yes, hunting and stuff. I sure am. Triad, North Carolina. Hour from the foothills, and about a good 4 hours from the closest coast point. So we're a little further than, we're west of Raleigh. I'll put it that way. West of Raleigh. Evan says, "All shucks" again. Tim Flegel's another one. I haven't watched Tim in quite a while. He's finally putting out some more videos, but some of you guys with the Alice Chalmers stuff. But Evan's shot me over a bearing cross reference that's going to be amazing. And Oakley's combine service as well. Gabe and those guys down there are amazing. He had a block ready to ship it out to me for the K. Again, pennies on the dollar. I mean, I may end up going that route if something catastrophic is wrong. I mean, I'm worried about a crack or something, but I'm not going to say I'm trying to get out cheaper, but just don't have, the house and everything else going on, don't have that huge amount of extra money right now. But I guess we'll figure out a whole lot. I've got a couple of lines to check on that, and trace a couple of things me and Evan talked about the other day. Hopefully, is Logan still here? Yeah, there he is. What did he say? I want to get to messing with machining. Could run handy. Yes. Logan, if you haven't watched Evan, go over and watch some of his videos where he's doing that work on Gretchen, and he just made a main shaft, rebuilt the separator clutch, made a couple of pieces in there. I'm not going to use the right terminology, shave down the surfaces and all that good stuff, but it's just amazing what you can do, and have the knowledge. And the beauty of it is, it's just like with Mr. Steve from Firehouse Customs. He is a machinist as well, and my buddy actually measured up the pins that I needed for the five bottom John Deere plow when we first put that in the ground. And I sent the measurements to Mr. Steve, and because they're both machinists, they knew exactly what needed to be measured, what you needed to know, or whatever, because they're step down pins from category 3 to category 2. And he made them, and they work perfect. I mean, they're perfect fit. So a machinist, his friend, is definitely somebody good to have in your back pocket. I just wish that some of these guys were closer. I mean, Mr. Steve's in Georgia, and Evan is in. Where are you, Evan? Is it? I know you're not in Wisconsin. Is it Illinois? Tell me again. I can't remember. Let's see. Bob. Hello. How are you? Thank you, Mr. Bob. Indiana. There we go. Why did I think Illinois? Well, you know how I am anyway. So, still got 12 of you in here, 11 thumbs up. Let's see, what else? What was I going to talk about? I don't know. I don't think I'll have a Flegels. That's it. That's what I was thinking. Big money. Let's see. Evan is up by me then. Yes, you two need to hook up, Logan, for sure. You'll enjoy some of the videos. You guys both remind me of one another as far as tinkering with stuff all the time. You know a lot about the same things. Let's see. Big money. Yeah, there's nothing big money about this. The pennies, let's see. Here we are. Pennies on the dollar. Well, we're trying. That's the main thing. No, you're the big money. That's the pot calling. Yeah. But if any of you guys are here and you haven't checked out Ruth Farms here, local, that's who I got Glenda from. Him and his grandpa. Go check him out. He has skyrocketed on YouTube and in his farming career. And actually, I think he just started his own electrical business for himself. He's been working electrical for a long time, but super nice guy, super nice. To go check him out too. He's getting ready to do wheat harvest, I think, if it'll ever dry up. I saw a short where he was working on his 9,500. He bought it at a auction for. I think he finds better deals than I do. The money aspect, the pennies, he spends more pennies, but it's still a huge deal. I just can't afford to spend that many big pennies, but he bought an amazing 9,500 John Deere combine. So I'm sure all of you that are here have seen Luke's videos by now, but if you hadn't, go check out Ruth Farms here on YouTube as well. We're dropping down slowly, 10 of you. I'm getting long-winded. It's 43 minutes in. We'll stop this one right off the bat at an hour, I think. Hunting stuff says you need moderators to share links. Yeah, that's true. Let's see. How about that? Does that work? I did that right. I need to do what Joey does and get my wife back in here and let her just read the comments to me, because you know how I am. Get too many irons in the fire at one time, trying to read the comments, talk, not sound too stupid, not get too long-winded. But it's pretty good to have more thumbs up than you have people in, I guess. Most of the time it's right the opposite. Yeah, there you go. See, now you're a moderator. I couldn't remember how to do that last time. I had a good comment last time, and I couldn't remember how to make a moderator. I don't do this very often. I wanted to try to get on a regimen. I'm looking forward to actually doing one at the farm. I would have already done it, but the cell signal up there is awful. So once we get on, what am I trying to say? Wi-Fi, then I'll have wireless, and we'll do a live stream from the farm, of course, whether it be in the house or I want to do it in the farm office for sure. That's been my ultimate goal. We kind of got away from the farm office once we started farming, but we're gonna finish that up. Wife's gonna decorate the inside of it right now. It's a storage building. All right, so hunting and stuff put up Luke's channel. So look through the comments and check on him. Luke's a super nice guy. He's putting up back forms. Logan's channel. See if you can do Evan Austin as well. Um, put his channel in there if you can. You guys are amazing, really. Like I said, if my channel is a whole lot further along than I ever dreamed it would be. I mean, I think I've been doing this now for a little over 4 years, going on 4.5 years. I think I started in 21. Um, but I never thought I would get over 1,000, and once I did, then it was amazing. There's been, it only takes one video or one short or one, if you're on other social media to quote unquote go viral, and it just brings in the subscribers. And that's awesome. I've never been that lucky. I think I did one here recently. What was it? I think it was a video of me mowing with a 165, and I think it had 60 some thousand views on a short. I mean, I think some of the older ones, maybe the 1086 videos where I did the fuel pump or the injection pump, and the 3000 videos, were creeping up there in the getting close to 20,000, I think. But I don't have anything like that on my channel. Most of the time, my views are 2 to 3, 400 on regular videos. But anyway, to say that, what I'm trying to get to is I never dreamed that it would grow, but if it doesn't grow ever anymore, the friendships that I made are worth $1 million. I mean, like I said, I hopefully to get to combine the oats with a machine that came from a really good friend. And I think I said that in the video that you guys have already seen, but I didn't really give it much thought that the crop we're gonna harvest with it was planted with the same grain drill that I got from him. And I guess that really hits home because the only reason I have that grain drill is because he knew I needed it. He had no use for the old straw chopper uh, that we traded for, but I miss him dearly. It's been a little over a year. But the friendships, Logan, hopefully he's down here from Ohio doing his full time job. He comes down here and stays for, I think, several months, weeks at a time. And he stopped by the farm a couple of times, and hopefully he's going to get to come tomorrow. He works a lot on Saturdays, and our schedules haven't lined up, but hopefully he gets to come tomorrow, hang out for a while. So I'm going to put him to work in 1086. Um, but friendships, Evan, Tim Flegel, all you guys. I mean, a lot of it's behind the scenes. I mean, a lot of you communicate. I guess if you ever give me your telephone number, you might make a mistake. I don't like talking on the phone that much because I get so long winded, but I can text like there's no tomorrow. Social media apps, Messenger, and stuff like that. But that's what means the most to me about with this YouTube is just the friendships. Just like with Luke. I mean, that was it was a fluke meeting. Glenda, they had it on Facebook Marketplace. Figured out where they were. I know that area quite well, and went down and checked it out. And he had been doing a little bit of YouTube, and I talked him into continue on and look at where he is now. So it's good content creators, good friends. That's what it's all about, honestly. We're dropping off quick. AW. Let's see. Anything swapped yet? No, I haven't yet. We cut the orchard grass and baled that, and the rest I could have baled a whole lot more, but with the tedder being down, haven't got that situated yet. But I'm hoping to be in those oats, or be ready to be in the oats as soon as they are ready. That's where I messed up on a little patch. They were beautiful oats, and they harvested well. When I first got Glenda, I had some issues with that head. Mainly because I think a lot of mine were down. I went back and looked at the video, but I didn't get them at the right time. They went too far along, and I had to go in there and spray. So they were way too far past harvest time I did it. So let's see. Logan says I'll be there tomorrow. Hopefully going home for a while around the 4th of July. Yeah, I couldn't imagine. But I mean, you like you said, you've gotten to where you needed to be this year with and last year with taking care of what needs to be taken care of. I wish I had the gumption to travel some more. The wife wants to so much, but I tell you, I can't drive on the highways anymore. I mean, driving and being around some of these people that are behind the wheels just scares me to death anymore. I just as soon stay in my little bubble, I guess you would say. I mean, I guess it's probably a good thing that the Love Muffin doesn't have a Jake brake on it, because if it did, we'd probably be traveling quite a bit. I am going to be making a trip somewhere. I'm going to con one of my, Northwestern friends into bringing me a field cultivator. I mean, like up around where Evan is, and Logan's. He was going to get me one last year, and I just backed out at the last minute. But those things up there are way cheaper than they are around here. Evan says, I hate driving. Oh, it's awful, Evan. I mean, it's just. I mean, if you're, on a 70-mile-an-hour highway and you run 75, which is normal, I mean, they'll run you over. I mean, they're running 85 and 90 miles an hour. And to me, and nothing against it, but, I don't think people drive as well as they did back, 25 years ago. And the main reason is because what I'm using to film this live is these phones. I mean, it's just, it takes your attention away from it, whether it be for a split second or whatever, and we're all guilty of it. But I don't know. I used to drive a truck all over. Switched out trailers in Kentucky twice a week from here in North Carolina all the way up to Catlettsburg, Kentucky, and West Virginia Turnpike up Fancy Gap, things like that. It was enjoyable back then, but I could not imagine being out there right now. Not only with some of the people that are driving trucks now, and just the people that don't pay attention, and it's just doesn't take but a split second to change everything. Let's see. Evan says I was going to start watching the auctions around here for field cultivators for you. Thank you very much for that, Evan. Yeah, that is something. One way or the other, even if I have to rent a good truck, which I mean my service truck is fine. It's just weak as tap water. But if I have to rent a truck or something to pull one of my trailers or whatever, I'm going to have a field cultivator before crop season next year. That's something that I really, really need to level up some of my fields and take a little bit of the step out. Let's see. But Logan says, I have seen North Carolina some bad drivers. Get me a list of stuff. Spread down. I'm still at home. I'm still on JT. I plan to come down for the tractor, so I have to. That's true. That's true. I didn't think about that. So you are bringing tractor down for plow day this year, Logan. That's awesome. Howdy, Mr. Matt. Thank you for dropping in. Oh, we got back up to 10. You guys are amazing. Like I said, we're at 52 minutes. I'm probably going to cut it off pretty close to an hour. I don't want to bore you too awful much with it. But anyway, yeah. Evan, keep your eyes out, and Logan, you do as well, because there's one that I was eyeballing around here that's a pretty good deal, local, but that same cultivator up around y'all's way probably would have been about $1,500-$1,800 less than what it was here. So it's just North Carolina's gold with farm equipment. We talked about that, Logan. At some point, we may get into that. You bring it down here, we'll clean it up and sell it. There's man, I really appreciate you putting all these links, hunting and stuff. Put up Matt's link to his channel as well, Matt the Scrap Whisperer. Logan says if I can figure out a way to unload 3 miles. I'll if you want to bring all that stuff, like I said, I might. I didn't last year, but Joey said I could. I may end up taking the 1086, and if so, it takes me about 5 minutes to unhook the loader, so I can leave the loader on it, and I'll have to have it anyway to set my plow off, and I can set your stuff off if you want me to. We can do that. So yeah, thank you for all that hunting and stuff, for all the links to these guys' channels. That's what this is all about, honestly. I really enjoy it. But yeah, getting back to that, Logan, for sure. I can't remember. I don't think I had the ramps finished or something last year with the tractor, but I'd love to. I need to get some new parts on the plow. But talking about that with the plow, a couple people have asked me. We're going to chisel in between, and I'll probably moldboard plow every 2 to 3 years, give or take. So the plow's still sitting there idle right now, just ready to go, sitting on blocks off the ground. So let's see. Logan says I got my 2 F2s used to bring equipment from north down south of me. Oh yes, there's no doubt in my mind. I mean, I'm not going to say that it would be a retirement plan, but there is no doubt that it's a 55 to 65% increase for what you could buy it from around your area and bring it right down here and try and resell it. Decent stuff. I mean, especially field cultivators. Field cultivators and gravity wagons are probably two of the the most sought after pieces around my area. A lot of the guys down east, run the field cultivators. A lot of them still use the 3-point stuff because they have huge John Deere's and stuff. These 20, 24-foot wide ones with the rolling baskets, not like the Perfecta brand. Um, they're 4,000, 4,500, $5,500 around here, and you can get a nice, older one up your way. Sometimes 800, $900. Not a Perfecta or anything like that, but I want a trailer style. The 1086, of course, is going to need some work at some point, and that's what we're after. I hope once we get moved up there, I'm hoping to make the barn alley my shop, basically. Build false walls, kind of like I did on the farm office, pour some concrete, put up a sliding barn door there. All the combines will go in there. I can put down timbers and drive the track loader in if I want to. The 1086 will go in. We'll have a nice place to work. I'm going to have to tear in the motor on that at some point, but that being said, the draft control issues I still have, so that's why I've kind of gotten away from everything 3-point. I had that nice Taylor-Way 10 or 11-point chisel plow. I think it was 10-point. That worked perfect. I mean, that piece probably didn't have 1,000 acres on it, if that. But it was just my 3-point gave me too much trouble. The draft control, and it's all stuff that needs to be fixed, I guess, but. We've kind of gotten away from that. It works fine, chisels, trailer style. The plow is semi-mount. It works fine with picking up the front of the plow and, all my disc and stuff like that. So, but she's going to need some work at some point. It's starting to smoke again pretty good. I definitely think I've got some ring issues. Let's see. Did you see the 400K? No, I had. If you sent that right before the live stream, Logan, I have not. I saw you sent an attachment, but I did not open it yet. I was sitting in here scratching my head trying to figure out how the orientation was going to work on my phone. 638 sounds premium. They are hunting and stuff. That's not. I don't know what happened. I don't know if I got lucky, if my fertilizer program. I said it right. Andy's not here anymore, I don't think. But if I overlap too much or what. But the middle field is pretty consecutive, where it was out in the sun, to be ranging anywhere from, I've measured in places 49, 50 inches up to, over 6 feet. So it's pretty consistent. I would say the average is, 5.5, a little over 5.5. That's not necessarily something to compare to. I had no idea they would grow that. I think my other ones were, knee high, but they're standing. We put some, let's see, did I put nitrogen on them? Yeah, I put dry on it. Yeah, after they were up, I think. Didn't I? Gosh, yes, I did, because I put it on the orchard grass as well. So, I'm going to say that this crop is the first one that I've done as close to right as possible, as far as, my pre-plant mix was good. Some herbicides, and then nitrogen after the fact. So, we're getting there. I need to spend some money, of course. I got to get a foam marker kit for my sprayer and field cultivator. I think my corn planter's good. It's a plate planter and 4-row, but it works fine. I already set up 38-inch rows. The drill, if I spend enough time to measure a few things, Evan or somebody can make me some spacers for that and get my disc openers where they need to be. I'd love to have double disc with, press wheels, but maybe one day. But for right now, pennies on the dollar, we'll keep planting with that. It does pretty good for the most part. So I'm tickled. We'll see how it does. If the combines hold up, it's as long as they don't lay over, I think that's the one thing I'm worried about. Let's see, he was the last one. So we're at 58 minutes, and we're not right now at 59 minutes. So still got AWN, 13 thumbs up. If you guys have any more questions, throw them out here. Next minute or two. If not, we'll probably shut this one down here in a second. Won't keep you guys too late. A big day ahead of us tomorrow. I know you all do as well. But on a final note, before any questions might come in, again, thank you for everyone that's been here with me from the beginning, or following along now. I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't claim to, but we're having a ball. We're living the dream, making some money. The farm is finally pretty much supporting itself with with what we've done. Excuse me. And we're carrying on the legacy of what my grandfather started, and that's what all this, whole deal was about. IP Farms, my grandfather, our Pope, and want to see some production on the land, and we have, and I'm having fun. I'm kind of missing the corn already. Excuse me. This season, especially get closer, I'm sure I'll start getting phone calls because everybody I sold corn to last year said they wanted to come back, but I'll shoot them down to Luke for some. Excuse me. Shoot them down to Luke for some good corn, but I guess that means it's time to get off Nelson. You can't talk anymore. So we'll see what happens, but really appreciate it. All the following, the support, the encouragement. You guys are amazing. The friendships, like I said, if nothing else ever becomes of it, the friendships are worth their weight in gold. So make sure nobody else said anything. No, I think that's it. All right, guys, we're gonna call it. We're a little over an hour in. Thank you for everything. Thank you for stopping by. I know it was kind of a last minute deal. I might can get a video out Sunday. If I do, you'll see it. If I don't, hang on, I didn't say anything about the other channel. We'll have to talk about that again another day. James, thank you very much. We're still going to have the other channel. A couple of you are still in here. The Grange on Main, we got to do a little revamping on that from where the channel started to where it is now. But we're definitely going to have some more videos on that, especially once they start coming out and get started on the house. It's about the house, and that's what it needs to be. So hold tight on that and hang in there. Logan, look forward to it, man. Just give me a holler. Thank you, everybody. We'll talk to you later on. Well, we're going to talk to you guys until I figure out how to stop it. That's what we're going to do. See you, Mr. Matt. I don't know how to turn it off. Oh, there's the X.